Well, the heat is getting turned up on another election season. And every day my wall is plastered with another reason that progressives should support the Democratic nominee. But for so many reasons, that just doesn't sit well with me. Look, the corporate media was always rigging the game. They never treated all the candidates remotely the same. Did you ever ask yourself why Donald's coverage was such that for each minute of Sanders, Trump got 23 times as much? And the Dems are not the innocents in this chicanery, disenfranchising their own voters around the country. The DNC would simply not give Sanders a chance. It's right there in their emails. That was always their stance. But we're told to come together and all be unified. And any liberal who does it must be fit to be tied. All around the country, people shout that I'm with her. But I ask you quite sincerely, are you really sure? She says she's a progressive, but one who likes to get things done. A recovering Goldwater girl whose conservative days are gone. But does her record reflect that if we're earnestly gandering, or to show a politician with a long record of pandering? You say the right is out to get her, that they manufacture lies. I say she's a conservative with neoliberal ties. You say she's not that person. Fox News slams her for sport. And I say both of our positions would end up in court. Yes, the right is out to get her, and their attacks are reprehensible. That doesn't make her policy decisions more defensible. You know how she voted on that disastrous Iraq thing. And as Secretary of State, she pushed hard for global fracking. Is she still the lesser evil, a bitter pill we must swallow? She sided with banks on a bankruptcy bill. That was truly hollow, because she opposed the exact same bill when Bill was in office. But with her own coffers to fill, she chose poor folks to dismiss. Now she's taking money from Wall Street en masse, but claims she's not beholden, that we should give her a pass. She says she'll do what's right so that we have no bank crash sequel, but consistently refuses reinstatement of Glass-Steagall. And perhaps you're unfamiliar with Honduras in '09, and the role that Secretary Clinton played there at the time. The corporate media left that story mostly neglected, of the ousting of their leader, democratically elected. Manuel Zelaya was the president who was kidnapped from his house in a political coup. Is this the kind of thing that's just supposed to be swallowed, along with all the killings of the peasants there that followed? Just for the record, Zelaya fought for the poor, the morning after pill, gays and lesbians, and more. These are the murky waters that voters must swim in. Please keep that in mind when you say Hillary supports women. Look, my point is this. I'm not here stumping for Trump. It's this poisonous system which we've all got to dump. Because every 4 years the same arguments begin. Do we vote lesser evil or let the Republican win? And every 4 years that Republican dude becomes more disgusting, more vile, more crude. But that's just half the story. Because if we pull in tight, we notice that the Democrats keep shifting to the right. Bill Clinton gutted welfare and Wall Street regulation. His crime bill led to massive minority incarceration. Why give him a pass for such atrocious legislation? Why is he your hero and not the target of your frustration? Of course we know that Trump is both a danger and a zealot. His racist Muslim rhetoric makes me sickened when he sells it. But the Democratic Party only talks with softer tones, while their current foreign policy kills Muslims with drones. For how much longer can we be subjected to this curse, which lets Dems be horrific but claim Republicans are worse? Just look at the facts. Stop this reflexive genuflection. My God, the DNC just rigged the national election. Of course the R's get more insane. That's how the game is played. They're there to scare us liberals, so it'll be easy to persuade. And it works. How many times have I heard vote blue no matter who? And if that's the way you truly feel, then vote that way. But you should ask yourself, how exactly do we move the bar? If we vote a party line, no matter what their values are. Because if we get past the phony narratives, the rhetoric, the lies, we see all these politicians all have corporate ties. And it certainly seems that their incumbency is directly connected to their income, you see. Because red team or blue team, they're all up for rent. And the lobbyists know that theirs is money well spent. And the joke is we know it, because the congressmen show it and pledge their allegiance to the donors who grow it. So the Congress and senators elected to serve us do mostly a painful and public disservice, ignoring our interests with a corporate bent, which might explain their approval rating, roughly 10%. So the public cries foul and starts to scream and shout, and we hear the cries everywhere to throw the bums out. But a funny thing happens with every election, as the consensus among us is for a different direction. After 2 years or 6 years of sin after sin, they run for re-election and 90% win. This isn't a question of folks being stupid or smart. We keep clamoring for change, but end up right back where we start. The same shills in office leave us between and betwixt. The system isn't broken, people. The system is fixed. Look, in the last 40 years of the White House's lease, we've had 20 years of Republicans and Democrats apiece, with similar dynamics in the House and the Senate. So power's been quite even there, except for the fact that when it comes to understanding how the people have fared, we mostly fail to see the truth and easily get scared. No matter who's in power, the same policies get pursued, allowing the rich to get richer while the rest of us get screwed. From bad trade deals, imperialist wars, and tax cuts for the rich, both parties are complicit. I know, ain't that a bitch? And I get it. It's hard to see the truth when it's so painful to behold that no one's representing us. Both parties have been sold. But until we see it plainly, there's just more pain for us in store. We have to move beyond this manufactured red-blue war. We have record levels of poverty, whole cities left in tatters. And no matter who the fuck's in office, every black life matters. These are the issues that we should be debating, and there are so many more that I could be enumerating, but they distract us with their rhetoric, pointing to each other's flaws, to get us fighting amongst ourselves, ignoring the true cause. The battle shouldn't be between the red folks and the blues. That's the lie they sell us, but my friends, it's just a ruse. The truth is, while nothing is purely black and white, there's so much more in common between the left and right. We have differences, of course, but we must stop that fuss and recognize the real fight is between the 1% and us.